Hi, we're still on page 283, or if you have the worksheet, then we are going to do problems 7 and 9. So we were talking about how when you solve in one-step inequality, it's like an equation. And so if I set up, I'm going to rewrite this because I don't like all these boxes. So I have negative 4 thirds, so negative 4 thirds being multiplied by x, and that's less than negative 8. Okay. So when I solve this inequality, I just pretend like it's an equation and I solve it just like as if I was solving an equation. So the opposite of multiply is divide. So I can either divide both sides by um, the fraction that I'm multiplying by x, or I could also multiply by the reciprocal. I could multiply by negative 3/4, and that would work too because that would still give me 1. So when I divide or if I multiply by negative 3/4, either way, I get 6. And then when I check that solution, I'm going to check it back over here and I'm going to use RSS. And but I'm going to use it like an equation. So I'm going to, because I solved it like an equation, so I check it as if it was an equation. And then that equals negative 8. So yay, it checks. So I have the right number here, 6. So now I'm going to check and see if I graphed it. I'm going to see about the graph. So there's no number on this number line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 6 here, the solution. I'm going to put it at the center. And then I put something greater than 6 goes on the right, like 7, 8, 9. Here's 9. And 3 would be over here. And have it all set up. And then I'm going to put an open circle. Now, normally I would just shade to the left because it says less than. But let me think about this. I should think about putting a number on the left and on the right. I'm going to check, see which side actually works in the original inequality. So if I use 9, okay, well, I'll use 3. 3 is on the left, so let's use 3. If I put 3 in here and I do negative 4 thirds times 3, is that less than negative 8? Well, negative 4 thirds times 3 is negative 4. Is negative 4 less than negative 8? And some of you are like, yeah, it is. But it's not because negative 4 is actually further to the right on the number line. It's closer to 0 than negative 8 is. So it's not less than. So 3 would not be part of the solution. But if instead, if I erase that the 3 and instead this time check 9, which is on the right of 6, and I do negative 4 thirds times 9, well, that equals negative 12. And negative 12 is less than negative 8 because the bigger the negative, the less it is. So this would be true. So it looks like the solution's actually over here to the right. Well, if that's the case, then I have to change this inequality and make it x is greater than 6 because that's the true solution. So if you remember, we talked about this in the lesson, that anytime that you multiply and divide by a negative, your inequality symbol will flip. So then in problem number 9, I see that to solve this inequality like an equation, I would multiply, because the opposite divides and multiply, I would multiply both sides by a negative 5. Now, if I'm thinking ahead, I think, wait. If I am multiplying by a negative, that's going to make this inequality symbol flip. So I'm going to bring this down, but I'm going to change it to less than or equal to because I'm multiplying by a negative. And when I do that, I'm going to pick this color again. M is less than or equal to negative 10 because 2 times negative. When I set up my number line, I put the negative 10 in the center and I put a number greater than negative 10, like 0 on the right, and a number less than on the left. So less than is to the left. So now I'm thinking the graph is to the left. I'm going to use negative 20 to check. You want to pause your screen now. I use negative 20 to check, and 4 is greater than negative is 2. Thanks. Correct solution. I think it's going to end any second now.